And we're live. That quick. We sat around for a while. We dressed up. Actually, we didn't dress up. This is actually us. I am Macho Man Randy Savage. We have two Hulk Hogans here at the end. You can decide which is the better one. John Hunter is accompanying us here today.
What's going on, guys?
100%, for sure. Yeah, we're doing a wrestling special. Matty Rispo, we were talking last night, and he's like, let's do something and dress up for it. I'm like, what are you thinking? He's like, I don't know, NWO. I was like, fucking bet, dude. But I got to be Macho Man Randy Savage, 100%.
Oh, yeah, brother.
He's embracing it. He's embracing it full on.
I really wanted to go with Scott. What's his last name?
Hall.
Scott Hall?
No.
Toothpick? Oh, Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Hall was the two-pick.
Yeah.
What's the oh, yeah. Yep.
Scott
Steiner
was the big dude.
with the headgear.
I love the headgear.
Or no,
metal
that's
chain.
his brother.
That's Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner.
Well, who's the one that used to kiss his muscle?
Scott Steiner.
That's Scott Steiner, but he didn't have headgear on, though.
Yes, he did. He had the metal chain link headgear.
That was
the
his
medieval.
He had it at one point.
Oh, really?
He's right.
Because those are like
Damn,
the pictures that came up when I was
Yeah.
looking at NWO. I was like, oh man, that'd be badass to get that.
I want it to be Sting,
That's fine.
but I don't have hair. So, I mean, I could have bought a wig, but...
You do what you can.
You made well with this one.
Well, yeah, because you can get this wig anywhere. You can't get a slick back piece anywhere. You know what I mean? It's just...
I'm sure you can.
On our little adventure to South Street, try to find costumes. They had more fucking banana hammocks than wig choices. Good old South Street.
100%. I want a dildo out of a crane machine at Conning Kingdom. First try.
The vibrator.
Vibrator.
Dildo
Potato. It was super tight. Like I could have won that whole thing if I wanted to. I could have got all that shit in there if I wanted to. I'm a crane machine. I'm an expert.
Definitely a good investment. $2 for a vibrator. Can't beat it.
100%. For sure. So, Connor, who are you?
The one and only Hulkster. Coming at you live, brother. That's right, brother.
You are shot out. So yeah, I'm pumped to do this, man. Like look, I grew up Attitude Era. Now, John, did you go? Are you like a fan back further?
No, me and Matt are the same age, so we're pretty close in age as well.
Yeah.
Attitude Era was pretty.
That was it.
Probably like '96 is when I really started like watching it. I think we all kind of started watching it around like that time. I would say. I mean, that was like a big time in wrestling, like '96 era.
100%. I feel like that was the.
It was a time.
That was the point in time.
From like '96 to like 2001 is when it like was like big.
Right.
Probably till that makes sense. But like by the age of like 5 to 10.
Did you ever go to any shows?
I was actually a couple years ago. Royal Rumble was in Philly in like 2014, I think it was, and I hadn't really watched wrestling in a while. My brother was kind of into it, so was still kind of into it. So he was like, "Listen, let's get tickets." And he's like, "We're both adults now. Why don't we spend good money on tickets, dude?" We got probably like 5 rows off the ring.
Oh shit.
And Roman Reigns, who's a current wrestler, he comes out of the stands like that's like his thing. And when his number got called, like you noticed, like something was going on behind us. Like they were like started to like block stuff off.
Right.
And he just comes down, dude. I have a picture of it. It's me and my brother are acting like we're 7 years old. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
I know I'm on TV. Like the WWE Network became a thing like that like month. Like it just really like.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So like that was like one of the first pay-per-views that was on WWE Network.
Right.
And like their whole thing was like, for $9.99 you can do this. So like, what a better caption than for $9.99 you can come see me and my brother look like fucking jerk-offs. Like screaming our heads off like we're 8. Like but it was awesome. The shows are awesome.
When do you think they're gonna? I mean, they still have the TV thing.
For what?
Like
What?
if you watch it, like
they're like the TVs are behind.
Every year I get the game.
Okay.
WWE 2K19.
Okay.
2K21. I get them. They're just fun games to play. I'm a gamer nerd. Okay. So as I'm doing it, my 6-year-old's like, I want to play this game. I can't get him off it. Every day, I can't get him off it. So I started introducing him to watching it. it's hard to find like the entire, unless there's some kind of a box set of the whole Attitude Era somewhere.
Okay.
Like, so I put on, because everything's on Peacock now.
Yes.
The whole WWF thing is
Brutal.
is on Peacock. So I click it on the new season, and it's all TVs. The stands.
Yes.
It's all
That ended
people on TVs.
That ended on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Friday, I just actually saw. So ESPN and NBC all have something with WWE right now. So like, they bought. So they post stuff all the time. Like
right.
If WWE does something, ESPN's telling you what they did. So I just saw recently that they are going back to live television. I think it was last week.
Nice.
So late on Friday was their first live show.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So thank God.
Right.
But it was kind of hard because the Devlins, right? Sean Devlin, Joe Devlin. So Sean still like watches from time to time, and he was telling me the one day he's like I tried getting on. He's like, so like you had to like sign up early as shit like the day before
to be in the audience.
To be on the audience, and they're like, you're on, like you got it, and then you go to sign in, and it like crashes because they give out like I don't know, probably like 400 seats, and then even if you say that you got it, if you're not in before somebody, you're done.
Well,
you don't have like a save seat. Right. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how they do it.
Well, I feel like they only show like, do you get on your screen? Does it show your vantage point from your seat?
And I asked that, and
like
the one dude I know said that that it does. Like you can see your vantage point, which is cool. But like it still kind of sucks that you're in just this.
You're trying to make the best.
Do you have to pay for that?
No, it's free.
Oh shit, that's sick.
Like I mean,
which is why it's so hard to get into it.
Right, dude. There's probably thousands and thousands of people.
But you ever notice you always see like
grown men
like with belts?
Oh yeah,
watching it like they're just sitting there like.
Most are dressed up.
Oh yeah.
I would dress up. No undies on, just straight top.
Dude, yes.
Top and wig.
They've gotten in some trouble though because like there's been a couple of times where like
girls flashed heads.
There was actually like a fuck Krasner sign up on the scene on this.
Yeah,
and they shut him off right away. Like you saw for like 5 minutes and then it shut off.
Yeah,
but it's great.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about.
It's great,
dude. Yes, hell yeah. So out of all the promotions, I'm gonna go down the line here. What's your favorite promotion?
That was always WWE.
Really?
WWF. Yeah.
I'd say it's probably like WWF.
How about you, Maddie?
Yeah, I like the WWE. I mean, I guess it wasn't even WWE during RH.
No, it was WWF.
It was WWF.
World Wrestling Federation, and they got sued because somebody copyrighted, I believe.
Worldwide, it was like a panda. It's like they like save pandas. So there's like a T-shirt out there.
Fucking
There's a T-shirt
pandas.
out there with a panda with a metal chair, and it says WWF on it. But like we know what that means. But
right,
like,
right.
No, like
so they had it first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not first, but they were the first to be smart about it and try to
copyright it.
Copyright it.
Yeah, WWF was it for my generation. Then we had to live through like it changed into WWE.
Dude, I think I got to go with mine being ECW. I have to.
But name 3 ECW people.
Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Taz, Sabu.
RVD.
I mean, I can go, dude.
RVD.
RVD. Come on, dude.
ECW.
Bro, man, I have the thumbs still somewhere, dude.
It held its own.
Well, here's the thing. My brother used to tell me a story. His dad used to take him down in South Philly when it was down there. Dude, Mick Foley, Mankind came from ECW.
Wow.
Funny story, Mick Foley lives in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. He goes to Knoebels like twice a week to get ice cream.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Twice a week.
You wouldn't even know him, I don't think. If he was in the ice cream line in front of you.
Well, I would.
How would you know him?
I'm going to go up and be like, I'm going to go up, take my sock off. And have him and give him the abandonable claw.
I'm sure.
The human crash dummy. That's what he was.
Yeah.
They just threw him around.
Yep.
So my brother used to go when he was younger. His dad used to take him. And they used to encourage bringing objects from your household to, if you had like the front row, to give to the wrestlers to whack the other guy with.
Wow.
So they used to go, and my brother used to bring like a pot or a pan or something, and then like hand the wrestlers, and he'd whack the other guy with it and shit.
I remember that used to be on Channel 48.
Yeah, 48.
Channel 48. And like when you had, I mean, I'm not. Well, obviously, we're not that old to where we only had a couple channels, but like
That was me. I had a couple
I remember
channels.
where we had like
I just couldn't afford
this
cable.
White TV in my room in Juniata, and it would 48 was one of the channels, and I remember I would be able to watch ECW on it. Back in the day, yeah, it was fucking awesome.
And that, but I mean, probably we were going to talk about the most influential characters of that genre of wrestling. And as I was going over my top 5, it was really like kind of standing out to me that all these people, all these wrestlers, all these characters, it's a perfect example of they all benefit from a mastermind. Every good company, every good organization needs a mastermind.
Why are you breaking character right now, dude?
Every great brother.
Come on, dude. Can't break fucking character like that.
So I think that really there's a perfect example of Vince McMahon is the mastermind. He brought all these regional organizations like we were talking about. He bought them out. He said, listen, yous are done. It's going to be one big organization. And he was the one that glued it all together.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, he...
100%.
Dude, the whole invade...
He's
the whole invade
undervalued.
thing.
Dude, he buys WCW and then ECW and then goes, I'm going to make a fake invasion during my promotion. You know,
100%.
Genius.
You know there's people who actually believe, like, obviously there's always conspiracy theories and shit. There's actually people who believe that Kevin Nash, when he went to WCW, and Scott Hall, and obviously it was Hulk Hogan, when they made NWO, there's people who truly believe that their main goal going there, because they all left WWF to go to WCW for more money. They went there to just trash the place and make sure that the company got ran into the ground. Dude, at one point there was like 50 people in NWO. Like it wasn't even normal.
Right,
like,
right.
It stopped being the three of them. Like people truly believe that 3 guys took over an entire company at one point. And then they just started bringing random fucking guys in, like Booker T and stuff. Like
Trivia question. Who was the only person that was offered NWO and didn't take it?
NWO?
Yeah.
Bret Michael? No.
Bret Hart?
Bret Hart.
No, not Bret.
No.
Bret Hart was in it at one point.
Was he?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm on the outskirts.
I don't know.
He was in Hollywood.
No?
Right?
Fuck WCW.
Goldberg.
Ah,
He jackknifed the Big Show. Or the Giant.
the Giant. That's a good one.
Yeah, dude.
And
Fucking
Goldberg
Bill Goldberg
Came
was
from
an
ECW.
animal. WCW. Bill Goldberg.
Dude, who was like the
Sandman.
trendsetter? No, who was the trendsetter for entrances? Because out of all I'm 30 years old. Out of all my memories as a 30-year-old, a standout memory is Goldberg's entrance when those fireworks
And
would
you
go
breathe
off
that in.
behind him. I mean,
Well,
that
dude,
was
not-
just an image burned into
Not
my
only that, he would
cerebral.
smash his fucking head on a locker prior, so he would have a little bit of blood trickling.
God, the
and when he was
commitment.
coming out, the fireworks, he would inhale the smoke from the fireworks, and then as he stepped through, he would blow it out.
Dude, do you remember the fake WWF wrestler they made, Goldberg?
Oh, Goldberg, yeah.
He was a skinny fucking dude. Had this that shitty tribal tattoo that that Goldberg had.
He was like 50.
He would run out, dude. They would spray him with stuff, and he would get like all like jumbled up and like, oh, it was great, dude. He was awesome. Yeah, he was like a fake Goldberg.
That's hilarious. I remember The Godfather with all his hoes.
Oh, that was great.
He's in it right now,
His hoe
isn't he?
train.
I haven't watched it.
He's Bobby Lashley's manager.
Is he?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he's Bobby. I like I said, I just started getting back into it because I was trying to get the youngster into it. I mean, I feel like that's like, come on, dude, you got to be into wrestling, dude. At some point in time, you got to be.
It's a
into
rite of passage.
It's a rite of 100%, 100%.
You want me to hit you with a fun fact?
So wait, yeah, 100%, always.
The WWE is
Yes.
legally categorized under the same umbrella of entertainment that, drum roll, the NFL.
Is that true?
I'm sure.
I would believe
look it up.
Yeah.
I'm
Look
sure
up.
it is.
Now, why I came across this is because I'm a big conspiracy theorist, which isn't really even a thing. It's just someone who likes information and who gets tainted by big
See,
business.
that double
when-
conspiracy, that in itself is a conspiracy.
So why is the
Brother.
WWE in the same category as the NFL? You got to ask that question. I mean, it's hard to imagine that they rig
entertainment.
games and stuff. It's entertainment. That's the answer. It's all entertainment. No matter what you believe that
So you think
these sports players are going
you
out
think
there,
the
NFL
it's out of. There's whispers, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And
the
listen,
NFL was fixed.
to
the Eagles
me,
would have never
You think
won.
it's weird that Gronk decided to just go to a WrestleMania? No.
that
It's
was
not.
that was before.
You want to know why?
what's
Because
weird
they
though about
want
that?
to make sure that those two types of things are intertwined. I agree. I think that they're very, very similar. It's a given.
yeah,
How are they not? How are they not?
I can see it because there's plenty of cities where they talk about, oh, we want this team to win over this team because that team
Yep.
is more affluent, it's more economically sound, it'll bring more money. And these are real factors in business decisions that people want to overlook, but the people in these boardrooms are counting, are taking note of these real life factors. And who knows if they're kind of pushing the envelope in a way that benefits them more. I can
Right.
understand that as a business person.
Well, I feel like no matter how you go, being in the NFL or WWE, you're going to be well off.
Oh yeah, I mean the player.
I mean, like making sure that it's rigged though is kind of a little. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
it's not even making sure that it's rigged. If I had to try to make sense of it, it would be like maybe a talk with the referee saying like, listen, if there's a gray area,
Let me ask you this question.
here's who we want to win.
All right, let me ask you this question. How many people do you think are involved in this?
Well, that goes back to the theme of the show, NWO, which has been tied to Freemasonry and tied to social groups of America and the world. And you really don't know the true answer. Who knows how many people know? But
That's what I'm saying. So
here's
what
a key-
happens if somebody squeals?
Here's a key word.
They get bit by a poisonous snake or something? Like,
Compartmentalization. You know what you need to know.
oh,
And someone is at the head of everything. And then they trickle down the information where it needs to be. That's it. So nobody has the full big picture. Everyone just has a little piece.
And we, as the consumer, have that.
We just consume it up. We just consume the shit out of
That's
it.
it.
Give me a New Jersey.
They don't,
Like,
it doesn't
what-
matter to them.
Like I feel like as a 30-year-old, and we'll get back to we're gonna get back to the wrestling thing, but like, do you ever know? Like, I as a 30-year-old, I find it extremely strange when another man wears another man's name on their back.
you don't have any jerseys?
I have none.
Really?
None.
No baseball jerseys? No
Nope.
nothing.
Nope.
What kind of childhood did you have?
Wait, he has a baseball podcast.
Yeah.
Plug it
good,
real
man.
quick. Plug it.
The Frozen Road podcast, and I also have the Diamond Club podcast, which is a Phillies-based podcast.
Hell yeah. Let's go, John.
Phillies are
But
hot
yeah,
right now.
I find that extremely strange. Like when I see like a grown ass man with like his kid, and he's wearing like Watson on his back. Like,
Well, I have a connected
But why
belief
though? But wait, why though?
Because of this. Because
I
Bronx
honestly wanna
Tale
know.
breaks it down perfectly.
Because I may burn all my jerseys tonight. Who knows if I agree with what?
All right, well,
with
let me make a case
Go
for
ahead,
it.
explain.
A Bronx Tale, my favorite movie of all time, makes the case beautifully. It says to the kid, C. Calogero in the movie, who's a big Lou Gehrig fan, lives in New York, lives in the Bronx. He says, Lou Gehrig doesn't give a shit about you.
that's correct.
He is not going to come pay your electric bill. So why are you paying his? And listen, that's a very cynical view, okay?
Yeah.
And I get both arguments. Hey, leave it alone. It's fun to watch. I feel that. On the other hand, don't buy their jerseys. Don't spend money you could be saving to invest in yourself and your family later on
Buy
if
your
you
own
don't
jersey.
have an excess of money. So it's all about the balance. It's
Well, at
being
that point, you're
smart.
Buy your life jersey.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, but it's weird that when people do that, I do. I find that strange. And you know what? It actually,
So here we go. What about if you get a jersey with your name on the back?
I find that weird too. I don't play for this team.
Well, what food? Here we go. Let me break it down to you like this.
Break it down, Baron.
See? Full
Hell yeah! What song is that? Who?
Yes.
It's
Nah,
X-Pac.
you gave it away.
What?
What? No, it's
Degeneration
DMX.
X.
It's DMX. That's
It's not DMX.
He's like, it's
Rest in
DMX.
Did you spin it off?
Where do you food shop?
My girl does. I don't do that.
All right, where does she food shop?
On Aramingo. No, what's the 3-letter one? It's on Aramingo.
It's on Aramingo, New York. What is that called?
Aldi?
No.
CVS.
No, Aramingo, New York. IG.
IEG or something.
Yeah.
IUD.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by. No, all right. So, for example, just say you're buying some North Sides or something. Is North Sides going to pay your bills?
No, but they're providing something consumable. They're providing.
They're providing substance.
They're providing a tangible object
Well,
into my life.
Okay, well, there you go. Who's to say that Carson Wentz jersey isn't a tangible object to them?
It's not. It's not an asset.
It's personal. Why? Who says that?
Food can be seen as an asset, a temporary asset to nourishment. A jersey is a liability.
Here we go. What if I find the very first Mitchell Ness?
Spend money on a Carson Wentz jersey.
How much is that Mitchell Ness jersey?
Well, I'm saying I was going to give the very random, like, far-fetched scenario where I say I go to this estate sale and I find this Mitchell Ness jersey that I bought for like $2.50. Okay, I put it on eBay. It makes me $5,000.
There you go. I mean, that's definitely an example, maybe even considered a one-off example.
Yeah, it's a far-fetched.
When a liability can be turned into an asset if you want to do something like that. But typically, buying a jersey really has no ROI. No like return on investment.
And your point was you were buying it to flip it. You're not buying it to wear it and flaunt this player as if.
What about Brian Dawkins?
As if he is your keeper.
That's the only jersey I spent real money on was
That's
Brian
fine.
Dawkins.
I get that. I understand.
Brian Dawkins is the fucking man, dude.
Yeah, you can look.
Do you look up? Do you
look
look up to Brian Dawkins?
I would.
Do you? Yeah, physically, I'm sure.
I know. No, physically,
actually, you might not. How tall are you?
6'1.5".
I think he's about 6 foot. So you actually might.
Yeah, but he's also ripped. I look like a soup sandwich. Literally. You know what I mean? I'm like the Bam Bam Bigelow if he joined WW fucking NWO right now.
Here's a rare question. Like, how do they even recruit for wrestling anymore? Like, you don't
gotta
hear
go.
about these things.
So I reached out last night. Hold on, let me get myself a natural light. Find it in 30 packs and 36 packs around the globe.
Can you grab me one?
100%. You just tell me. So I've reached out. There's this place called CZW. Did you ever hear of it?
Yeah.
You went to North. Dan the Fan Cowie.
There's a guy actually that me and Matt went to high school with who actually is a wrestler in CZW. Who? Jason Effrey.
Well, you know why?
Call him Jay Free. He raps. Yeah. So
Jay Free. Jay Free.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a wrestler in CZW. Right
you know why, right?
What's his stick? What's his character?
Do you remember Mr. Cowie?
Yes.
He's the commentator for CZW.
Is he really?
He would literally give us tickets on a Friday for a Saturday show, and if, say, we had a test on that Friday, if we showed up and went up to him and seen him, he would give us extra credit for going to these shows. I went every single Saturday, and it was fun because CZW, what happened was, remember Christian or Test?
Yeah.
Test would show up.
I have a really weird story about him.
Wait, Sandman would show up. Like it wasn't just like this knockoff fucking ECW. Number one, it was entertaining, and two, like every show they would bring in like legitimate people, and you're sitting 20 feet away from them because you're in South Philly and they're 2300 Arena. It's so small in there, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is sick. You know what I mean? Being a senior or junior in high school, you're like, what the fuck, dude? This is awesome.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to CZW last night because this was like literally a last minute thrown together show, and it's called CZW Academy, and it's a wrestling academy that can it's like a 12-month thing that you pay for. I think it's like $5,000, and when you graduate, you're a professional wrestler.
I actually had a friend that did that, but he failed out.
Yeah. Well, you probably.
How do you fail out?
Well, if you're not
don't
physically capable,
Dude,
if
they
you're-
definitely wasn't. He
I'll tell you what,
definitely-
in the wrestling business, like we all look at it like, oh, this is fucking fake. But when they go,
real.
they take,
Cutthroat,
dude,
yeah.
they take that shit serious.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah, it's entertainment.
They used to say WWF back in the day, like the only way you could ever make it or be anything in WWF is if you suck dick, no matter who you are,
Jeez.
boy or girl,
Right, hey, Hollywood.
or that was it. Like you literally had one way of getting to the top, or you fuck somebody who
'Cause they're
had
like-
some top dollar. But like,
gatekeepers. You know,
didn't
gatekeepers
care,
want
dude.
one thing.
Right.
You know, we're all human.
Yeah.
Sex sells
Right.
everywhere.
Yep.
No matter what
100%.
well,
country.
let
you're
me. Speaking of that, let me ask you this, everybody: favorite entrance of a wrestler dating from the beginning till current.
from. Yeah, you go
what-
first.
I'm saying Road Warriors, dude.
okay,
Of course, that's what you played in the beginning, right?
What a rush! And not only that, that was my first documentary I seen on the Peacock.
yeah,
That was insane, bro.
yeah, man.
That was crazy. Animal was straight through.
yeah.
He was straight. He used to play for the Jaguars, I believe. And then he bounced at this club, and then this local guy kind of came up to him, and the guy that played Hawk. They were monsters, dude. Got them into wrestling. They did a Tokyo stint for a little bit, and then
They were big in Japan.
yeah, they wound up blowing up. But Hawk couldn't get off the sauce. Finally gets off the sauce, right? Is in Florida, doing great. I think he just had a kid. Drops dead of a massive heart attack.
You know,
at
his-
like 42 years old.
His son actually played for Ohio State.
Yes.
He was a linebacker who ended up going to the pros too. He played for the Rams, I believe. Their last name is Laurinaitis.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sounds like a disease.
No, that was Animal.
is that Animal?
Yeah, that's
I know one of the
Animal's
because
son played.
because then his brother John Laurinaitis is like a pretty big deal with like talent relations with WWE right now.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were huge, man. That was the first one that I seen, and obviously I have them tattooed on me. I have Animal and Hawk over here somewhere because they were my brother's favorite.
Yeah.
So like this is like the tribute arm to my brother, and there's fucking everything on here, dude. Animal and Hawk is like, you know what I mean?
dude, I used to talk wrestling with your brother
Oh yeah, he was a fucking
when he was around. When he was like, obviously I'm really good friends with Pete Wachowski.
right.
So anytime Pete was around, Becky was around,
Oh yeah,
and
Jimmy.
was around.
dude. He would literally, dude.
Yeah.
If there was a big like pay-per-view, he'd call me over to his house, dude, and we would case race and watch wrestling, dude.
Remember when he lived with, I think a girlfriend, him and his girlfriend had an apartment down in Port Richmond, right near Cahock's. And I remember coming over and like, it was like before I started drinking and stuff, but maybe late grade school, early high school. And I remember being in that little row of apartments / houses near Cahock's and watching one with you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
brother, and
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, so that's mine, man. Road Warriors. Plus the theme is just the song is just gets you fucking amped up, dude. It's unbelievable, 100%.
Arguable though.
How about
as far as
what,
number one?
All right, well, what's yours?
I'm gonna let Johnny take ours. I mean, we both shared
You have the same.
the
How original?
standout favorite, and not even like I'm gonna go super original as far as one that not a lot of people like. But when Stone Cold's glass broke, there was just something in the human spirit. If you were a fan of Stone Cold and you heard that glass break, just something in you turned on. And it's,
100%.
It's like something that just the human race is obsessed with as far as trying to figure out what makes people go, what makes people fall in love with stuff or just feel excitement. It's not real. You can't put your finger on it, but you know it's real when you feel it.
Well,
and when that glass broke, it was real.
It was Stone Cold. So you're saying yours is Stone Cold?
I'll go with Stone Cold. When that glass broke, it was a wrap.
Right.
Fucking
Definitely.
Out
Fucking
of my
Ringmaster
mind.
right there, dude.
Yeah, it was one of his
Ringmaster
names. Yeah.
evolved.
Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah, stunning Steve Austin, dude.
That's when he had hair.
Yeah.
his wife came up with that name,
Three-
Stone Cold.
Yes.
316 says, I just whooped your ass. He's just goofy.
He's a
What's
legend,
yours?
Shawn Michaels.
So Shawn Michaels.
The Heartbreak Kid.
This Shawn Michaels?
I think I'm cute.
That's correct.
I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks.
Yeah, it was.
I can only play that for 5 seconds because we're
Dude,
flagged.
he would when he came out, and then he wasn't like huge.
Oh no,
but
he was a small
would fucking
dude.
Put his muscles up and like the fireworks and stuff would go behind him. It was just like it was an event. When he went out, it was awesome. His pyro was great.
Hype train.
Yep.
Super hype train.
Definitely.
I mean, even that to this day, dude. Bret Hart. What's another one? Obviously, DX is. I mean, we're all speaking from Attitude Era because that's the era that we kind of grew up in. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they all were. You knew, right? The fucking Rock.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Well, don't name all of them. We have one left. What was yours?
Mine would have to be Triple H.
Oh, wait, which one? Because there's one. I guess because the old one.
The game.
Yeah.
The whole.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he would spit the beer, actually, it's a funny story. My grandmother's, I think it was like her 63rd birthday. So my grandpa was like real big into wrestling, and as they were singing "Happy Birthday," I thought it would be a great idea to give her my present. I came up from the basement with an ice cold Sprite, and I spit it up in the air at everybody. Time to play the game. Did not go over well with the crowd.
Did they get on the cake and shit?
It got everywhere. It was on the ceiling. I had to go back there the next day and climb on a ladder and scrub the ceiling with a sponge and soap. But
that's fucking great.
That's
For those
great.
that you don't know,
It just hit me who that mustache really looks like. Colonel Mustard from Clue.
from Clue and
He did it in the basement with the mic.
what is the what the fuck's that? Ridiculous Six. David Spade played Colonel Mustard.
on
That's it.
Netflix, yeah.
Dude, it's a legend.
I watched that twice on the way home from LA. What is that here? Hold on. This is the Triple H theme.
Yup.
Time to play the game!
Yeah, that is kind of badass.
There's one point where Triple H actually had that mustache, the same one he's got right now.
Oh shit! I remember that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as far as playing chess while other people are playing checkers, developing a relationship with the daughter of the owner of the organization. I mean,
Well, that was real. So
That's
I
obviously.
forget what I was watching. It was definitely a documentary or something.
The China documentary. I just watched that and they brought that up.
Well, no, it was him. He was
banging China, too?
You know what it
China was
was?
his girlfriend.
It was
before Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause Stephanie was probably maybe too young at the time.
well.
I mean,
I think it was the Undertaker. I think it was that. It's called The Last Ride.
Okay.
There was like 3 different episodes to his documentary. It was long as shit.
Yeah.
But I'm almost positive he goes in to explain it because Undertaker was one of the ones that kind of stepped up and was like, well, no, he's actually a good dude to Vince because there was like this big rule in the whole thing that's, no way. You're not gonna intertwine with people you work with. Like that was like a company rule, especially when it
100%.
comes to the daughter of the fucking owner, right? Like
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon. So they started messing around. They kept it a secret for a while. Like this is far after China was done, but they kept it a secret for a while. And when Vince found out, there was like some serious issues there, and then like the Undertaker was one of the ones to step up and was like, "Yo, it's good."
That's
You know
why
what I mean?
Macho Man got fired from WWE.
Why?
WWF? Because of Stephanie.
She was banging Macho Man too?
Yes. When she was like
Oh,
she was like she was like 15.
Are you kidding me? Oh no!
Yeah. Like
That's rape, brother. Statutory rape, brother.
yeah. So that's
5 to 10.
yeah.
Why am I Macho Man right now, dude? Ew, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
You could have told me this before we went live, dude.
Dude, when I walked in and saw all you guys, I just didn't know what am I gonna say. Have a great time, guys.
That guy is a rapist.
You're a racist. But no, yeah, there was a
Did I bang
And
my
he-
housekeeper?
and
Yes,
and
all right.
and the worst part about it is like years later, like they didn't put him in the Hall of Fame, the fake WWE Hall of Fame that has no building.
Right.
It's just you're in the Hall of Fame, and then that's it. There's no plaque. There's nothing. So
sucks.
they never put him in, and he believed he should have been in. Obviously, he's one of the greatest of all time.
The culture holds him up where he's
But they
supposed
told
to be
him,
anyway, you know
but
what I mean?
yeah, but they told him like, you're not getting in, and he believes that it's because of Triple H or Paul Levesque as his real name, but like he believes it's because of him, and he says stuff like, there was one point where he came out and was like, I know why you're holding this against me, or you're not letting me do it, and that was one of the reasons.
What?
Makes sense.
So he's still not in to this day.
I don't think he is. He might be, but it's like it was after he died.
Damn.
He never got honored while he was alive.
And
That's kind of fucked up.
Hulk
Because he
Hogan
was the guy.
and Macho Man, they had a lot of real life issues too.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard about as far as
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
like each other behind the scenes.
Well, Hulk Hogan dealt with some shit.
Well, that's why he left. That's why he left NWO. That's why Macho Man left NWO, because he felt like Hogan, which he did. Hogan
I
manipulates.
love how he's pointing to us like we're Hogan.
Well, that's who you are. We're playing. We're not breaking this out. Like you guys are real people right now.
100%.
But yeah, like Macho Man didn't like that Hulk Hogan was, manipulating every situation. No matter what, Hogan ended up on top. And that's
Right.
that's what the rules were everywhere he went. There was problems in W.
belongs.
There was one point where they called it like the ultimate death poke. He went up to Kevin Nash and just poked him at a pay-per-view. He poked him, pinned him. That's how he beat him. A pay-per-view. Like people
What?
paid like $60 for this, and this dude pokes him and beats his friend. And then they get up, they laugh, they hug, and that was it. Then there was another one where Jeff Jarrett walked in, laid down, literally walked in the ring. The bell rang. He laid down, and Hulk Hogan was like, oh, and Hogan being the man that he is, instead of just walking out being like, fuck this, I'm done, he pinned him. He literally pinned him, and then Jarrett rolled out, walked out, and it was a whole fucking thing. And that was
Damn.
kind of like the beginning of the end of WCW.
So he's an asshole.
Yeah, that's where people really stop watching it. Is when people when shit like that happens.
So Hulk Hogan's an asshole.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He is a
really?
Whoa, all right.
I mean, we know
my
his
life over there.
the whole housekeepers, the cheating and the sex tape and
Yeah.
banging the ugly housekeeper.
I think you're
Dogs
talking
will be
about
dogs.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I do believe you're
Nah,
talking about
Hogan
No.
banged the housekeeper too. I know Schwarzenegger banged this housekeeper.
He's got a son.
Who did
Everybody's
Hogan
doing
bang?
that.
Nobody.
I know. No, you know what? Hogan's wife banged one of his son's friends. Her son's friends.
Oh god.
That was like a
Throwing
big
the
scandal, and then they broke up.
Damn babe.
Yeah, man.
beans. By God.
But know what's crazy is like
tripping, brother.
when we grew up, like it's way different than it's way different now than it was then, in many ways. But the main way is we didn't have the information to know that certain guys were coming to WWE or WWF. Where now, the minute someone leaves one company, we know they're going to another.
Oh right.
You know what I
that's
mean?
The,
Like-
that's the power of social media.
Yeah, but it's actually one of the shit parts of social media, because like that element of surprise of someone coming back in wrestling was huge.
Yeah.
Like who didn't love when somebody came out like the number 30 at a Royal Rumble, who hasn't been there for months or a couple years,
Right.
And then he comes in number 30, and the whole thing's done.
You're just like, oh shit.
and like the pop, you don't get that now.
Right.
You don't get that anymore because
You
no
know.
one gives a fuck because they
Right.
already know it's happening.
Right. Yeah, man. It's that's where the conversation lies, to where like, because obviously throughout your entire fandom, I'm going to say, of being a fan of wrestling or UFC or whatever it may be, what happens is if you naturally you follow all these groups, you're a part of all these groups on social media, somebody's always going to spill the beans, right?
Yeah.
So naturally you just get a ding, an alert, and then you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't see that.
And you see something you didn't want to.
Right. And that's the sucky part. So if you are a fan of anything, do not follow social media in regards to that special thing. Damn, dude, I definitely look like Macho Man right now, dude. Ew.
Could attract a lot of 15-year-olds.
I still like the tits bounce. There's some muscle under there.
Who do we got? Number one wrestler all time, most influential, most successful.
You go first. You
whatever
brought up the
wanna
question.
call it.
Well, I'll give our number ones. We'll go around.
You want to go 5-1, or do you want to?
We'll go 5-1. Ah, that's hard though.
All right.
Well, let's go 1. We'll start at 1, go to 5.
Number 1. I had, respectably, big picture, I had Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I mean, nobody's made more money. If we're talking from
money.
Success defined by money, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Far and away.
DJ.
This
Without a
motherfucker is going to be a politician.
Well, we know him.
Mark my word.
We know him.
The
It's his-
whispers are there.
It's DJ.
Yeah, well,
100%.
We know him as DJ.
fucking DJ. Okay, DJ.
So it's DJ.
and
Rocky.
He started.
Rocky.
He is a perfect American example of how to climb the ladder. Took a wrestling persona, turned it in. He mastered that. Then he trickled into movies. He took that to the top level, and now he is in the phase where he's setting up for the back half of his life. And I know he's going to be a politician or a public figure in a different.
I don't know. He
Definitely.
they just rapped on Black Adam. You a fan of that stuff?
I didn't. Black
Like
Like
know what that is.
DC universe, Superman, Batman.
Nah, I'm not really into that.
Wait,
type of stuff.
they're
Never really
they're doing
was.
a Black Adam movie?
He's Black Adam. They just finished filming, dude.
What's Black Adam? What's the
it's
superhero?
It's Shazam's. Black Adam is the Deadpool of DC. Do you know? So the Deadpool isn't a superhero because he's an anti-hero. He does good, but he does bad while doing good. So like he sees a robber, he kills him. Batman sees a robber, he arrests him. Right? So like that's why Deadpool isn't necessarily a superhero because he kills people.
Okay.
Black Adam's the same thing. Black Adam was the original Shazam, but he didn't have mercy. Anybody that did bad, he would just kill them. So the whole persona of Black Adam is that he was pretty much kicked out of being Shazam because he didn't, do what the wizard wanted him to do, have mercy on the bad people, all that shit. You know what I mean? So now he's pissed at Shazam for taking his place, and now he wants his power.
Okay.
And now The Rock is Black Adam. They just rapped.
So is that going to be wrapped up in the Shazam movie that they made a
Oh
couple
yeah.
years ago?
Oh yeah. Well, they're actually almost done filming Shazam too.
So Black Adam has. his
I'm
own
super
movie,
nerdy
and
when
then-
it comes to this shit, dude. I'm like all over my superheroes, dude.
Dude, everyone has their thing.
I'm like I'll tell you,
Dude,
the
I'm
shoe
talking-
size of Thanos if you want.
I'm talking to you about backstage wrestling shit right now, and you're gonna try to make me. You're gonna try to sit here and say you're nerdy. We all have our nerdy shit.
100%.
You know what I mean? We all have our stuff. You know?
When you become an adult, you realize that nerdy isn't really even
It's not a thing.
word. It's not
No,
even
it's
a
not a
real
thing.
Yeah. Educated. You want to be educated in any sect that you want, then that's your choice. I mean,
Yeah.
You start to realize when you judge people on
Yep.
this, that, and the third, you're the asshole.
Right,
You know,
for
they're
sure.
not
I'm sorry.
dorks. You're an
I'm
asshole.
sorry.
for judging.
It's crazy as you get older, and it is. It's crazy as you get older. You realize like who the fuck am I to call him a dork or
Right.
like
Right,
or,
right,
like
right.
like I don't even think that way anymore. Like as far as that type of shit, I really don't. But for you to call yourself a nerd because you like comic books that's nothing. That's
Well,
your
I
that's
never
your
read a
guilty
comic
pleasure.
book.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all
Like, but
just
like
research
dude.
and
well, what I'm saying is your guilty pleasure is that type of shit,
Hell yeah.
and that's fine.
wherever you can find joy in this
Yeah.
fucked up world, go
for it.
Yeah.
Lean in.
Yeah.
lean into it. So you went number 1. The Rock is your favorite, most influential.
Yeah, I would say he was the most influential.
But is he your
Wrestler.
favorite though?
Matt.
I mean,
Yeah,
Matt.
he might be.
Obviously, me and you have been friends for fucking forever. We've
Yeah.
known each other a long time.
One of very few people I've been friends with longer than you. That's what I was thinking when we set this up.
shit.
So, I remember when we were younger. I remember that when you lived on Ann Street, and I remember you drew a picture of The Rock.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I don't know why I thought about that when I was looking at when I did my list. I'm like, I remember Matt drew a picture of The Rock. It's
Dude,
crazy,
he was the
isn't
man.
it? Like
I mean, he was fucking.
that was like, but I remember that being like your guy when when we were younger.
He was a fucking.
Yeah.
well, he would
So-
he would literally walk around to the playground and be like, would ask a question, and then hit you with it doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude. Everyone has, but that's the thing when
His
The Rock
stick was so strong.
Yeah,
dude.
he was a
yeah.
he was a heel. He was a
100%.
bad. When he was always like same things for like Stone Cold. He was always a bad guy, but no one looked at him that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone loved him. Like The Rock was a dick to everybody. Like
Yeah.
even when he was a good guy, he was an asshole.
Right. Right.
And
But you
people were
laughed
like,
at it for
but
some
people
reason,
laughed
yeah.
at it and thought like this is great.
Yeah.
So, like, it was the opposite effect. Like, I remember when he first came in, people were screaming, like, die, Rocky, die. Like, they didn't want him at all.
Oh, shit.
They hated him.
Yep.
They hated him. He was Rocky Maivia, and he was, like, this real cheesy wrestler.
Right.
And he was, like, smiling all the time. They were like, Vince was like, you got to figure something out. He's like, how about I be a bad guy?
Oh.
And he became a bad guy, and he ran with it.
up.
But then he was so bad. He was bad for so long. People actually started to actually, like, cheer for him.
Right.
So he got the opposite effect, which is kind of crazy. Stone Cold did the same thing.
He has an amazing story.
Stone Cold's I'm going to put a spoiler out there. Stone Cold's my number 2.
Number 2? Okay.
I'm going to go Mankind with number 1. Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mick Foley. Dude, he's had, like you said it earlier. He was literally, he was a human dummy.
Yeah, crash dummy.
He would do things to entertain that I don't think anybody's ever done throughout the entire wrestling business, like ever. Like, he would do some goofy fucking shit, dude. Like, when Undertaker threw him off the top of the fucking Hell in a Cell, like, literally, dude, that's like, what's that, 25 feet in the air?
Yeah, that's high.
Right onto a table, like,
And
then they cart him away, and he gets off and finishes the match, only to be chokeslammed through the top again.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like,
And in that, his tooth went through
his lip. And then when he smiles, like, after the match, he's like smiling, and his tooth is hanging, like, pierced through his fucking lip.
Crazy.
But not only that, like, and what kind of sealed the deal for this is I watched his documentary. And I keep going back to these documentaries because if they weren't a thing, you really wouldn't know in detail the things that actually happened. You know, it was dude does insane amount of charity work, like millions of dollars a year to all these different charities, Uganda, like all these like third world countries that pretty much everybody forgot about. It's almost like the dude Dustin Poirier that does the whole Uganda thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's just, you know, dude pretty much sacrificed his life, body. Dude's had over 100 surgeries in his life, probably. That's a guesstimate.
Yeah.
It had to be. And then used the fruits of his, you know, whatever the fuck that saying is, fruits of his labor to benefit other people.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Did you ever see the thing with WCW with him? So WCW used to be live when WWF was taped. So, and it would come on, I think, an hour before. I think Nitro came on at 7 and Raw came on at 8. So when that would happen, Eric Bischoff would go on TV and he had an inside guy at WWF who would tell him everything that was going to happen on Raw. So he would go on Nitro to start the show off and go, well, this is going to happen. This is going to happen on Raw. This is going to happen. So he's like, so there's really no reason to even watch it. He would spoil the entire show. So Mankind finally wins, for the first time, he wins the WWF title. And that was one of the things he said. He's like, Mankind's going to win the WWF title tonight. I don't know why anybody would want to watch that. It actually did a reverse effect, and everyone turned off Nitro to watch. Like, there was like, you can see like hours.
Oh, shit.
And in that hour, there was more people watching Raw than they ever watched Nitro.
Oh, shit.
So it actually hurt him. But he used to do this often. Like, I'm talking like there was like a 5 or 6 week period where he did it every night, where he did it every single Monday.
Damn. What a dickhead.
Yeah, what a dickhead move. But then his company got bought out, and then he had to crawl back to Vince, and Vince finally hired him just to fire him again.
Damn.
It's a great move.
Vince is a legend.
100%. He gets all the
He'll
trim.
never get enough credit. And you know what? He was the type of guy.
Well, he does though, and like if you watch the documentaries, he gets these wrestlers that do these
people that
documentaries
matter
about.
know him.
The
people that matter know Vince is the guy.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I mean?
praise this motherfucker. One thing I do know by watching them all though is that all of them pretty much say, like, even when they say they're done, Vince will hit them up out of the blue and be like, so we got this thing.
Well, he signs them to Legends contracts the minute they retire. So where he even when
Really?
they're retired.
See,
they
I
have to
didn't
come
know
back.
this.
Yeah, they're all signed to like Legends. A lot of them are signed to Legends contracts. So like you can come back. You don't have to make an appearance every year, but if you're asked, you're under contract.
Oh shit.
That's why like if you look at guys like the Undertaker, dude, the Undertaker didn't come to. He just showed up at WrestleMania.
Right.
just showed
For
up
a while.
For a long time. There was a point where he didn't show up the entire year. And he was fighting CM Punk at the time, who no longer is with WWF. Or WWE. He's with... I don't even think he's with anybody. I don't think he's with...
He's a commentator for CFFC.
Okay. So
East Coast-based MMA company.
So he was fighting him, and it pretty much just showed how good Punk was, because he was able to, like, pretty much carry that entire feud without Undertaker ever showing up until WrestleMania.
Oh, shit.
It was one of the most wild things I ever saw. And then Vince said, you're going to lose to him, but Brock Lesnar's going to beat him next year. And that's one of the many reasons why CM Punk walked out on WWE.
Damn. Who's your number one?
My number one was The Rock. But my number 2 was Ric Flair.
Oh, woo!
Ric Flair, I think exactly what you just did. You hear people screaming that everywhere.
Dude, he's
so influential in not only wrestling, he's probably the greatest wrestler of all time. It's either him or Chris Jericho. The two of them are just fucking...
That's a wild card right there you just pulled
People
out.
don't talk about Chris Jericho enough, but Chris Jericho...
Fozzy?
He's been the... Hey,
you listen to Fozzy?
I don't. I do not. But Chris Jericho's been a
his band.
champion. He's been a champion everywhere he's been.
Right.
And he's been a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. But he's also great on the microphone, which is also
You remember
a
the
big asset.
Y2J?
Dude, and that was when I was talking about like the whale
Everybody
effect,
thought it was Taz. When that whole thing came out, everybody was like, dude, it's Taz.
When I was
He's come
talking
from
like whale
ECW.
effect, like nobody had, like, that was like a big thing when he, like, it was the millennium, it was the countdown was going down, everyone was like, who the fuck is this? Every night the countdown will come on and people were like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yep.
He showed up on Monday Night Raw and the countdown went down the first pay-per-view, the first day after the New Year. Whatever the next event was after the New Year, went down to 0 and it was him. Like, no one knew it was going to be him. And he went from being like a small cruiserweight to being like one of the greatest.
Huge.
He was huge in WWF.
Chris Jericho, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, but Ric
So
Flair is my number 2.
you're saying Rock number 1,
Ric Flair 2.
Ric Flair 2,
Yeah, and then 3 I have
Konorski.
Hogan is number 3.
Oh, now you're giving it away.
Oh, sorry.
I had Hogan too. Yeah.
Well, no shit.
I think we all have to agree Rock is definitely got to be the number 1.
Yeah.
But then after that, I don't know. I'm a little younger than you old bucks, so I'd have to say John Cena.
He was my top.
He was
5.
my number 5.
Yeah.
John
I had
Cena.
Cena 4. I had Brock.
Whoa,
Brock
we're
number
going
5.
around here,
Brock
dude. What
is
the
just
fuck
an
we doing?
underestimated athlete. The motherfucker is just...
He's definitely not
He
underestimated.
is a can of whoop ass. If Stone Cold was the original
Legitimate
can of whoop
ass.
Brock Lesnar is the next generation of whoop ass.
Dude's
Well,
married to
Brock
Sable.
Lesnar. I know, married to Sable, UFC heavyweight champion. I mean, yeah, dude is a natural born athlete. He had to cut weight to make heavyweight. Do you know that?
That's insane.
Dude, he had to cut
a monster.
fucking weight.
Because he went from being... That was right before he left. That was right after he left the Vikings, right? That he went to UFC?
NFL,
No.
WWF,
He left WWF.
UFC.
And then went to UFC?
And then went to UFC.
Oh my God.
All right.
Dude, he would walk around at like 290.
Yeah, that's a
ripped.
big dude. That's a big dude.
Like, dude, there
That's
was
not even fair.
his first training camp. They showed him like what he would have to eat to like just maintain his muscle, dude. He went out to like some like steakhouse and just got like 2 of these big fucking cheeseburgers, dude. They're like big fucking dude. They had like an 8-inch circumference. 2 patties,
inches.
2 of them
Around.
You know what I mean? Like it was just he's an animal. Like to be a human being
I wouldn't fight him.
that you have no choice but to just gorge yourself with food to maintain your body
Yeah.
is just unbelievable. Like that goes into like them bodybuilders, like the dude Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall, when he was powerlifting, he would have to consume like 20,000 calories a day. That is insane to me, dude.
Who was it? Was it Michael Phelps used to have to do something like that too?
Well, he would
How
burn.
tall,
He
how
was-
tall
yeah,
is
but-
Phelps?
He's like 6'4",
Four,
probably
yeah.
6'4".
I'm 6'4".
Well, he would burn his thing. He would burn 10,000 calories almost on a swim workout.
That's absurd.
throughout the day.
That's
And,
absurd.
dude,
Like you're losing pounds of fat.
I know. I'm 200 pounds and I look slender. You
Right.
know what I mean? I'm not like weak. I have an athletic build, but I look
Pause.
slim, and it's 200 pounds of man right here.
Right.
You know, so it's
All
not
dick.
like all dick.
Brother.
Facts,
All dick, brother.
20% dick, brother.
It's that third leg, bro. Nah, so yeah, so
Who didn't go number one?
well, no, we all went number one. He went right to 2.
Okay.
He said The Rock. Everybody said The Rock. He's just jumping on the wagon. Unbelievable.
Nah, I mean,
Didn't it be-
he transcends, genre. I'm not genres. He transcends.
So who's your 2?
Age
Who
groups.
did you say your 2 was?
I said Hogan was number 2 because
Why?
he was kind of the Rock before the
Yeah.
There has to be a face of an organization at any given time period, and Hogan was one of the first faces of wrestling.
Yeah, not
And
even just WWF, wrestling.
We really can't
wrestling in general.
understand that.
He was in a Rocky movie, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I know.
Hulk
I mean,
Hogan.
Well, yeah, other people.
He was. What was his name? That's a great trivia question.
That is a good one.
What was his name? The something man, the indestructible man. Oh, dude, what the hell was his? Here we go. Hold on. Look. 2 concurrent viewers, 27 playbacks. This is the thing about getting right into YouTube, man. It sucks. If anybody's watching right now, what is the what was Hulk Hogan's name in Rocky? I want to say it was the something man.
I think it was the Indestructible Man. Yeah.
That sounds right.
The No.
I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, I felt like he fed off the crowd, no matter how you look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he would look and they would cheer, you could just see like his hair would flicker even more. Like when he would, you know what I mean?
You're not even close.
What was it?
Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips.
That's what it was.
Thunder
Yeah,
Lips.
there it was.
What the fuck?
Thunder Lips. Yeah, there it was. Brian Bailey. Beatles the man.
Thunder
Fucking
Lips.
Thunder Lips.
Yeah.
Why did I say the indestructible man? Like, who the fuck am I
Sounded good to
talking
me.
about?
I don't know. That sounds awesome, though.
Connor said it sounds like me. Thunder Lips. That's right.
You
That's
know what?
fucking right.
You know what's
Damn
big
it.
about?
Never heard that.
You know what's crazy about Hogan though? Like when he joined the NWO,
Damn.
that was like a big thing.
Yup.
That he became a bad guy.
Yep.
Like the world, like I saw, like people cried when he became a bad guy, like that, which is fucking wild. But people cried when that dude became a bad guy.
It shows you how emotionally.
Dude, they were
invested
throwing
people
beers
are.
at him and stuff. He's sitting there talking, getting a beer hitting him, like smoking him in the face, like
Meanwhile, his paycheck just doubled.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
He doesn't give a fuck.
And like he fought it for a while too. He was like telling him like he's like I can't be a bad guy. He's like I got all these young kids who look up to me, and then he was like they're like well here's a couple $1 million. He's like fuck them kids, you know what I mean?
Fuck those kids.
Damn.
Thunder
Lips.
Thunder Lips.
All right,
Yeah.
who else is arguably number 2 here?
My number 2 was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, you know, I don't think there's any argument there, right? I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's Stone Cold Cold, right?
We have a caller on the
Forks. Should I
the hot-
answer it?
on
I have
the
no
hotline?
idea who this is, dude.
It's Stone Cold.
Sarcasm
yeah, it's
Podcast.
Cold.
Answer as
Forks?
Macho Man. Answer as Macho Man.
Yes.
and say you're at the
yes,
Sarcasm
No, because
Podcast.
it was a bill collector.
What do you want, brother?
They're like he's been dead for years.
Been trying to contact you about your car insurance, brother.
I'm calling from the warranty department for your. I don't need no warranty. You know what I mean? No, but no, definitely Stone Cold. Uh-oh.
God,
Now
Stone
you're
Cold
so
Man.
drinking. Who is it?
Answer as Hulk Hogan.
I'll answer as
If
Answer
it's
as Hulk
Forks,
Hogan.
if it's Forks WA, what's that?
It's my grandma. I'll answer as Hogan. What do you want, brother? What's the matter?
Your son wants to go home.
All right, I'm coming. What time is it? It's. I thought I said it was 8 o'clock. I would get him, but I'm coming soon, brother.
Yeah, because you got to get my trash out.
All right, thank you for
Gotta get the
putting
trash
this on
out.
the air to let people know I'm a good grandson. But I will be there soon.
All right.
All right, bye.
So it wasn't the warranty department. Your grandma called me. That's crazy.
She said, "Huh?"
She's like, is Matthew there? But no, definitely Stone Cold. I mean, he was another one that he didn't give a shit.
For sure.
And people fed off it.
And he wasn't Stone Cold. I don't know the backstory.
He was the
in
ringmaster.
detail.
He was the ringmaster.
Yeah, he was something corny.
He
He
had-
had hair.
Yeah, he was the ringmaster.
He was stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve Austin.
He had blonde hair.
Yep.
It's good
Corny.
to know people's backstory because it lets you. It reinforces the
Wait,
like that you don't have to come out perfect.
he also
You
had.
don't have to come out and show yourself to the world as a perfect
Right.
product. You can come out and you can evolve and grow and learn.
yeah.
Well, it's all about
and
what works.
Figure out what works.
all
Yeah.
about what works.
You're
All
right.
about what works. And when he was finally like Steve Austin, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, his finisher wasn't the stunner. I forget who it was that showed him that move that this
Yeah.
dude made up.
Yep.
But it was set up like it wasn't the kick and then the stunner. It was like he was thrown against the ropes and hung on to the ropes, and then somebody would come up and try to grab him from the back, and he
And
was
he would just hit him.
and he would just grab him and do it. He actually created the whole kick and stunner thing. Now
Put his own spin on it.
now there's a guy currently.
Randy Orton.
No, that's
Oh,
RKO.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. His finisher now is the stunner, and he actually went to Stone Cold and asked him permission to use the stunner, and he said, "Yeah,
Ah, that's cool.
100%." But it's not the same because Kevin Owens is like kind of like a teddy bear. Like,
Yeah, he's-
he doesn't. He
Kevin
doesn't.
Owens
He
isn't
doesn't chug
crushing
beers
beers,
and.
Yeah.
And bam, and do it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that was the whole character of Stone Cold.
Yeah.
It's just that like I don't give a fuck attitude. Like he brought in a beer truck, dude, and squirted fucking Vince McMahon with a fucking a oil truck full of beer.
It's great.
Again,
You know what I
like,
mean, dude? Like, come on.
That kind of like the underestimation of Vince McMahon as far as like when we used to watch him as kids and think, oh my God, like here's the owner getting embarrassed. Like he knew what he was doing.
He was
so
a
fucking
genius.
Yeah,
smart,
he's a fucking genius.
oh
100%.
my God, dude. Just-
and for that,
and then his kid didn't even really get shadowed. Good for Shane for not getting shadowed because
No.
Shane O'Mac came out and he created a persona,
persona.
strong enough to get out of the shadow.
He
and
would
to be
do-
his own
well,
person.
he
So
would
that
do-
whole family. Fucking good for you,
Dude, you have to
guys.
understand too. He was super athletic, bro.
Yeah.
He would jump across the ring from the turnbuckle. Remember that?
Oh, dude,
when
he
he
would-
kicked
oh,
the
yeah.
fucking thing, he would jump from turnbuckle to turnbuckle. Like I forget who he was wrestling, but he put a trash can against somebody who was
his dad.
Was that his dad? He jumped from turnbuckle diagonally to the other turnbuckle
And hit him with
and,
the-
and
yep.
hit him with the fucking trash can.
Dude,
Wow.
did you know that when they so they know how they transitioned into PG, they stopped being like the company that did like wet t-shirt contests and stuff. Like the whole obviously everything
Right.
changed in it. They were like one of the first companies to change, and a big reason was because Linda was running for like office, and they were
What?
bringing that up against her
Wow.
because there was like a set like a full like couple months where Linda was like she was like in like a daze kind of, and she would just sit there in a wheelchair, and he would like cheat on her in front of her with like Trish Stratus and shit. Like he would like make out with them in front
I
of her.
remember that.
And they were like sitting and like they were like, how do you let your husband commit adultery in front of you? Like it was like this whole oh dude, they crushed her. Like crushed her.
I remember that.
Did
I
she ever
fucking
get
remember
it?
that.
Oh no, she wasn't. She was
she
never
was
really.
never elected?
She ran for something in like Connecticut because that's where they're from. She ran for something in Connecticut.
Connecticut's rich as fuck.
Well, you
But
do
that
realize
was like a big
that-
and they're from like
wait a minute.
Greenwich too, like which is like
Dude,
yeah, big
r-
money.
yeah.
the WWE headquarters is
I've been
literally 4 hours away from where we're at right now.
I've been there.
Really?
I stood outside, dude. If you look next door, there's like a big gate, and then the next it's a regular housing block on the same street as it. Like there's like regular houses like next to it.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's weird.
That's the American dream, dude. Building a brand in America, this is the best country to build a brand. And,
Yep.
you know, it's almost like that carrot being dangled in front of your face. We're at the perfect age where this is the age where you have to pick a road. There's a fork in the road mentally. You are either going to give in and you're going to get in line, you're going to become a cog, you're going to help someone else build their dream, or you are going to take on the unbearable stress of trying to leave a legacy. And it's so hard to make that decision every day because whether you mentally, consciously realize it or not, you are taking a step in one of those directions every day. And the hard part about the first few steps in the legacy direction is people are going to tell you, you're out of line. You're off the right road. You got to get blah, blah, blah. You should be doing X,
Oh,
Y,
right.
and Z. Meanwhile, they don't understand that long term, taking those first few steps on a brand new road has a payout that that trumps anything you could do in I want to be a marketing director for a pre-existing company. No one's going to remember. You aren't going to leave as big a mark on the world that you can if you take your own road.
You're not going to get that.
I say
legacy
we'd be the
contract.
first person to send a Coors Light into space. That's
Is that even possible?
Natty liked it.
Whatever the road be, I just think always love to verbally encourage our generation and
Be different.
generations.
Be a
after
trailblazer.
us. Yeah,
Right.
blazer trail, dude.
100%.
Because the world is so like this is a copycat world.
Yep.
This is a follow the trend world, and it always has been in one way or another. But especially nowadays, it's so enticing to just kind of follow suit. It's easier to do that. So don't ever be afraid. If you need some re-encouragement to blaze a trail, here's another little re-encouragement from this show.
100%. Well, that's it, right? It's the whole don't be a follower, be a leader mentality. You got to get there.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
Number 3. You said it already.
Vince McMahon.
That wasn't your third.
My number 3 is Vince McMahon.
He was a wrestler, and he did win the WrestleMania one time, right?
Yes. He won the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. There you go.
He was a
He's a
wrestler.
wrestler, baby.
He was a character.
He was on roids at one time.
He was
Counts.
Mr.
He
McMahon.
still is, I think.
He was Mr. McMahon. He wasn't Vince McMahon. He was
No,
Mr. McMahon.
Mr. McMahon.
That was a whole other.
Put
That was
some
a whole other guy.
respect on his name.
Fucking put some respect on it.
Yeah. My number 2 was Ric Flair.
Oh, that's right. 2 Ric Flair,
2 was
3
Ric
Vince
Flair.
McMahon. You're on 2, right?
Yeah. Well, no. 2 was John Cena,
All right, 3.
and then 3. I mean, again, this is out of my era, but I'd say Batista.
Okay.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Batista. Fun fact about Batista: he didn't start wrestling until he was 31 years old.
Wow.
31. What was he doing before that?
31. He was a
Porn.
No, he was a bouncer. No, he was a bouncer that you can look this up. He was a bouncer that didn't he literally was having his first child, didn't have a pot to piss in or a fucking window to throw it out of, and somebody mentioned it.
Go ahead, finish some time.
Somebody mentioned you should do pro wrestling, and he was like, fuck it, and then wound up. I'm lying to you. He didn't get into WWE until he was 31 or 30 or 31 years old.
I thought you just lied about that whole story.
No, I just made that.
That was a whole lie.
I'm going to be honest with you. That whole thing was a lie.
No, seriously.
No, yeah, you're right.
I want to hit you with a fun fact. This is I guarantee that
Those-
none of yous have heard any inkling of what I'm about to spit. You ready for this?
I'm chomping at the bit right now.
I know.
A pot to piss in. We all know the saying.
Yes.
Where does it come from? Comes from somewhere. England.
Is this facts?
Facts. I don't know what era. Okay, so I will admit that. But in old time England or European in Europe, people were so poor that they used to actually piss in a pot, and they used to carry that pot, and they used to trade it in for either food or resources of some kind. So the saying, they don't even have a pot to piss in, was referring to the poorest people of the society who couldn't afford the pot to piss in, to trade in to the hierarchy for the resources.
Why would the hierarchy want
Won't
to
piss.
piss?
Because they used to use urine to for basically a process in manufacturing for whatever it would be. Wool. So, I don't know all the details, but I know that that's where it stems from. As far as piss and urine, the chemical in it used to be used as a part of a manufacturing process. And
What about the window to throw it out part?
you made that up? I don't know.
That came along with everything else, but the pot to piston thing.
I mean, but that's such a cool fact. Like,
100%.
it traveled all the way to the 21st century. Oh, you don't got a pot to piss in. And then all these generations just say it and don't know where it comes from. But I heard it in a documentary somewhere.
I honestly think you got that off a Snapple Cap. I don't think you heard that anywhere. I think it was a Snapple cap,
It was
dude.
350 words. Got my Snapple cap in mid-England.
Got his fucking monocle out.
England.
To read it.
He's got his fucking
I
monocle.
was like, that's so cool. Like,
That's crazy.
People used to piss in a pot and trade it in for resources.
I'm going to fact check that.
I like that.
Absolutely.
It
dude.
sounds legit.
Even if you fact check that and it's wrong, I'm going to tell people that's
I
what
mean,
it is.
100%.
That's a way
Even
better
if I was
story.
creative enough to make that up, that's like a
That's a
cool
fa- that's-
origin
yeah.
story.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the new meaning.
I'm gonna say that at every family party.
100%.
I want someone to say it to me so I can. Like, I'm going to be chomping at the bit for someone to say "pot to pissin'," and I'm like,
Did you know?
It's England.
Poor people in
It's,
England used to trade in their
poor.
piss.
It's poor for England.
People
I'm
actually
going to fuck the
used to piss
story
in
up.
pots.
I'm going to be so excited to tell it.
So anyway, people used to piss in a pot.
Somewhere in
Traded
England.
in for goods and rights.
Then they threw it out a window. Then just threw it out a window.
You get the rest. Science.
All right, so number 4 for you.
I had I already had my Jesus Christ. I had John Cena 3, and then I had Stone Cold 4, and then I had Brock Lesnar 5. John Cena at 3 in front of Stone Cold because he transcended into the movie industry and was able to take it the next step,
Flops,
collect
though.
bigger checks. I know.
Yeah,
but
there was the one
flops
with the
or
cock
not,
block.
the checks are there.
I mean,
one.
let's
He
be
provides
honest.
for his
The
family.
Rock doesn't have many greats either.
I mean,
What?
The Tooth Fairy.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
he
well,
I can probably
bad ones.
the game plan.
You ever
Game
see
Plan was
Snitch?
banging.
Did you ever see Snitch?
Banging.
Banging.
His best movie.
The Rundown.
No, his best movie
Rundown.
by
and
far
Fast Furious.
was what was the movie where he portrayed the football coach?
I didn't see that one.
Gridiron Gang?
Gridiron Gang. Which he was good in Gridiron.
Oh,
Gang.
yeah.
He was good in The Mummy Returns.
Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then you have...
I mean, but for
Moana?
the most part,
I'll
a
tell
lot
you.
of his movies
Why he's
weren't
got a
that great.
Disney movie, Moana?
Moana. There it is. Moana.
Moana was good.
What
shit.
about dude, he was definitely in a couple bangers. The one with Kevin Hart.
Oh,
I mean,
What the fuck is that called?
It's when he's undercover, right?
Well, no, he was basically...
something intellectual. Fuck, it's something like that.
what's the movie with The Rock where you play with Kevin Hart?
He's something with the CIA.
Well, he was
Central
kicked
Intelligence?
out.
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
That's it. That was a banger.
He has a couple.
But
good
there are
ones.
bang like
Jumanji?
Jumanji was all right.
come on.
Come
he's
on,
no
dude. He was in
Rock.
1 and 2,
I
Jumanji.
I like
Be,
Jumanji.
be honest.
Look, The Rock's my man crush. I will fight for that man.
Yeah, it seems like you just like
has
anything The Rock's in.
100%.
So it almost seems biased.
Do you see
And
him on
he
his-
has a tequila.
Yeah, I know.
Termana?
Tequila was #1 selling tequila last year.
It sucks.
He's just does it.
It's terrible, dude.
Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Did
It's
you ever
disgusting.
did you ever have a
People buy
proper
it for the
12? Did
taste.
you ever have a proper
It's
12?
I hate
terrible.
It's terrible.
Proper
But you know why
12.
people buy it?
Because it's Conor McGregor.
McGregor.
I'd rather drink piss, honestly.
And
Yeah.
people forget, like
If you have it in a
especially-
pot.
If you have it in a pot.
Yeah.
You throw it out a window.
That's who was getting all the trades for the pots of piss right there.
Yeah.
People-
Conor McGregor.
They get so sucked into the characters.
So why Brock Lesnar, though?
At what
Just be-
spot?
just
Brock
number
was
5.
Number 5. I mean, just because it's not about just being a good wrestler. Like
Yeah.
people have to live a life beyond that brand, and when you're able to take your brand and disconnect it from something that you were a part of and take it to the next thing. People don't realize how hard that is. It's like a good actor. When you're a good actor and a great role, it's very hard
part
to,
of wrestling
to have
is
people
being a great
not
actor.
see you. Dwight from The Office. Okay, this is a good example of when you nail a fucking role and people see you out in society, all they see is, oh, Dwight. But
Yep.
let me tell you this. Michael Scott, that's kind of almost in the same category. But if you're able to break that mold of, I'm not just one role, I am a great
Jim from The Office.
yeah, he's
He's
breaking
Jack
out.
Ryder now.
Yup,
He was,
yeah.
He had a couple good roles. What the fuck, Jack
Ryan?
No.
Is that what he is in?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that what
trying
it
to
was?
think.
Jack Ryan?
Jack, that was the name of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of the legendary actor, the one that likes dating African American chicks. He's the raging bull, Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Okay, like an actor like Robert De Niro, you see him in a role, but he isn't just that role. You see him for who he is,
Yes.
and you appreciate how well he's doing in the role, but then you see him in something else and you're like, okay, yeah, I can buy him as this too. That is something that's so hard to do that really you can't explain why it goes well or doesn't go well for certain people, but it just is what it is. So Brock Lesnar was able to kind of transcend all these different organizations. The Rock did the same thing. Stone Cold didn't.
So you ain't thinking outside the box.
You
Stone
see
Cold's
Stone
got his
Cold
own-
and
he's
you
got his own
think
podcast now.
Stone
And
Cold.
beer. And beer.
He has a beer. He has a podcast. Have you watched his podcast?
Once.
Okay, there you go. You know what I mean?
So-
if Stone Cold, if the glass broke and he came running down the ramp, you'd be like, yes, you'd be pumped.
I'd get a
'Cause
boner, yeah.
That is where you want to see that character.
Yeah.
When you could take that character and put him anywhere, that's when you're taking it to the next level. And that's why John Cena, The Rock, and Brock make my list.
I'm with it.
I fuck with it.
I'm with it.
So I had Mankind,
Okay?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm just going to ramble the list off here. Okay. You got to think about Kane, for example. Kane's a fucking mayor
My uncle is
Are you
actually
serious?
of Knoxville, Tennessee.
of Knoxville, Tennessee.
My uncle,
He is
The
the
one in SWAT?
my uncle Mike actually lives in Knoxville, Tennessee, and sees him often
He-
getting his haircut.
Wow.
He's the
But Kane
mayor.
has been
He has
played
hair?
by different people, though.
No,
Kane,
Yes.
Kane. Well, I mean, he still has,
Kane
like,
hasn't been
weird-
played by multiple people.
Kane, he was only played by one person,
Yeah,
sure?
other than him.
dude, Kane is Kane.
He's always
No,
been. He's always.
I feel like that's wrong. I
Don't-
feel like Kane was played by a younger guy. Someone came in and played the Kane role.
Dude, no, that's
I would
ridiculous.
Glenn
agree.
Jacobs has always
Yeah,
played
Glenn
Kane.
Jacobs. That's
Because he got so jacked at one point, like recently, like
dude. He's
10 years
he's,
ago.
He's,
Called steroids.
he's a mayor.
D-ball.
100%.
Ugh,
D-ball, HGH, smack.
I guess maybe he was
Angel
super
dust.
young. Like
Train
when
him
we
balling.
PCP.
So I'm gonna go Undertaker for my 4.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. So the dude's another one, almost like Mick Foley, pretty much gave his life up. This dude had a hip replaced in like early 2000s, then wrestled Brock Lesnar. Didn't remember the entire match because he got concussed. Okay. And then the next year, I think it was against Roman Reigns, where he had a bone on bone, bad hip, limping around the ring, terrible performance. Got his hip replaced, and it was like the comeback story of a lifetime. Got into crazy shape, bought this like old car wash, put a ring in there, then trained with his wife, who is Bliss or whatever. Who is it?
It's
Who the fuck's his wife? Another big
used to be a
wrestler.
wrestler.
Who actually didn't win, but she made a pretty big impact on the first female Royal Rumble, I
I
believe.
think she won.
Alexa, not
no,
Alexa
that's
Bliss.
not Alexa Bliss.
Mark Calloway is his name, but came back in the greatest shape ever. Wound up, teaming up with Kane. What was it? The Brothers of Destruction. Beat the X. It was a terrible match, but even still, and then his last match was with AJ Styles. Right when the coronavirus happened, it was WrestleMania, so they weren't allowed. Michelle McCool, right? They couldn't have fans or anything, so they came up with this whole skit about it's a graveyard match. And knowing that there wasn't going to be fans there, they literally shot this match like a cinema movie. And it was this crazy, crazy, crazy thing where it was like one of the best cinematic performances of the WWF or WWE ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was insane. It was movie effects. It was pyro. It was everything.
That's
dude.
cool.
They used their people at NBC well.
Oh yeah,
for that.
100%. It was unbelievable, and he came back, dude, from like just literally the grave of like his career, where everybody was like, dude, he's got to fucking stop, dude. Like he
looked bad a couple of times.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He was like 340 pounds at one point.
Wasn't able to do like the classic athletic Undertaker shit that he used to do.
The
catwalk.
rope walk, right?
Yeah, when he would walk the ropes and
Couldn't do shit. And then he was so disappointed in himself. Literally 2 days later, got his hip replaced. Within 24 hours of his hip replaced, was walking like on crutches and shit, like with no pain. You know what I mean? So I feel like he deserves a solid number 4,
Right, he's
if not
legendary.
number 3. But
Yeah.
Kane being a mayor, I mean, come on, dude. You know what I mean? You gotta hit that.
I'm cool. Yeah.
Who's your 5?
My 5 was number 5 was John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena. I mean, for the same reasons. I mean, John Cena he carried WWE for
I feel like he
people. When
carried
people stopped watching it, he was still there.
he carried WWF into WWE after the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Kind of kept it relevant.
It was called the Ruthless Aggression Era.
Right, right.
And it was like a big thing that he came out and smacked the shit out of Kurt Angle, and then Kurt Angle beat the shit out of him. But it became like a big thing for him where he's one of the best I've ever seen with the microphone. He's one of the best. He's not a good wrestler.
He had a
And
rap album.
Yeah, like
He had a
I
rap.
forgot about that, but I actually had it. I owned John
The
it
Chain
was John
Gang.
Cena
Yeah,
and somebody else.
Chain
There was another
Gang.
guy.
that's what they call him, the Chain Gang.
The Chain Guy. I
Oh
forgot
my
about that.
God.
It was actually sick. He had one song in there I'd listen to on repeat.
I think John Cena has the record for
Crazy.
the most Make-A-Wish.
Yes, he does.
Oh yeah.
He was the first ever person to hit, I think, 1 million.
1 million Make-A-Wishes?
He made
No
way.
it was something like that. Where
He's
he,
making a wish right now.
Wishes?
dude, no, it was like
If he hit $1 million.
I'm telling you, it was something
There's
crazy.
no-
It's something crazy like that.
Unless they just fill stadiums with kids once a week.
I'm
There's
telling
You
you.
get a wish. You get a wish.
Everyone look on their chair.
Dude, it was something. It's something wild
Yeah,
like that
I believe
number.
it. I mean, I think he has the record. But a
John
million
Cena's in
wishes?
10 different hospital rooms at
that's
10
What the
times.
fuck is he, Peter
Dude,
Pan?
he can knock out probably 1,000 real easy in
just
one
driving by
hospital.
the
Running down
hospital.
hallways, close
He's driving by hospitals waving at this
Dude, I was
fucking-
way off.
1 million
I was
wishes.
way off.
How many wishes?
Way off, dude. Way off.
Yeah,
not even
that's
close.
close.
Should've
We're
won.
not even at
Wishes.
1,000, bro.
Oh my god.
I mean, this
He
takes
was
up a whole
Cena
half
has
a
gone
day
on
making
to
a
grant
wish.
over 650.
Yeah, that's still a lot of wishes, dude.
It's not a million,
dead.
but-
1 million wishes.
We're going with 1 million. We're going with 1
I
million.
was choked on
That's your new goal, John Cena. A million
If you don't, if he doesn't grant 1 million, he's a fucking loser.
Oh my god, dude, that was
Just
dude.
say this man does not have a life. He's 9 to 5.
I won't be shocked though. The way we got to think, he's on the road 363 days a year.
Oh my god,
He's
dude.
literally on the road every day of his life. Like that's all he does is wrestling, movies, and that's it. He could easily slide in like, yo, here's a kid, shake a hand, you're out. That's a wish
That's
right
a
there.
wish.
I want to meet him.
He's a good
You
guy.
met him. Boom. 360 in 1 year. He could definitely do.
God bless him.
Dude, that was fucking hilarious.
No, hold on. Who's your worst wrestler? of all-
Well, no,
who's
wait,
your
we
most
didn't get to
angry?
number 5. Who's your
Oh,
5?
did? No.
No, we didn't. No, you wrecked it
Yeah,
in 3
yeah,
years.
nah, dude.
We've all named a different wrestler, so it's hard to like.
He didn't say 5. What's your 5th?
Shit. I don't know. I'd have to say Macho Man Randy Savage. Just because I don't know, kids my age is more about the memes and shit. And Randy Savage is like a meme every 3 months.
100%.
Some new video or picture comes out and
100%.
Randy Savage is back on the scene.
Wait. Well, the funniest meme was it was
And
something
he's
about
back on the scene.
Yeah, it was something about Taco Bell, and when he was like, when the whole getting me to the boiling point thing,
Yeah.
that comes up almost every month.
I just saw this video of Sting, like, so it's like an old wrestling video, and dude,
Still
They're-
laughing about 1 million wishes?
Dude, it's just
Dude,
your
they're-
reaction. No way! I had to like.
Such
I
a
literally
big
almost.
number.
I almost
Dude,
choked
they
on
had-
my beer.
he was just lighting a fire mid fucking interview for no reason. This fire got lit for no reason, and the entire interview, Sting's just trying to put it out as he's talking to the guy. Dude, it was like on live television. This dude's like, I gotta put this fire out. And he's trying to do it, and they're all just staring. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, get your shit together. And he's like, nah, I gotta put the fire out.
That's great. That was a, dude,
My 5 is
fun,
going to be
dude.
Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious?
Sid Vicious was an animal. He was supposed to be the next big thing in WWF. Then
He couldn't talk.
Well, he couldn't talk.
Did you ever see
But
some
then
of his interviews?
he snapped his leg in half. Remember that?
Yes.
Right at the knee. It was in live. Like, it was disgusting, dude.
He's dead, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah.
Hot on there.
What are you, breaking character?
It was hot. Itchy and hot.
You're not the real Hogan, brother.
You gotta finish.
But now,
out
yeah, and
Hogan.
then yeah, that was it, man. But he was literally like on the up and coming. Like he was ready to rock, dude. He was good to go. But yeah, Psycho Sid. Well, I think it was Sid Vicious. It wasn't even Psycho Sid, or was it Psycho Sid?
Psycho Sid. He was Sid Vicious when he did that.
Sid Vicious, yeah, Sid Vicious. But that's my number 5. Worst wrestler.
I mean, in reality, we can't say because it's someone who fucking didn't even make a mark anywhere they went. But worst known wrestler?
No,
Yeah.
hold on. I would say like most hated or whatever.
No, the worst wrestler you've ever seen. The worst gimmick, I could
Okay,
say.
all right.
What's the worst gimmick you've ever seen?
Earthquake.
Someone else go.
Blue Meanie.
Dude,
Boom, baby.
There's a lot, dude.
there was
He's
a guy.
from Philly.
There was a guy who just literally hatched out of an egg. WWF made like this big thing about him. Like they're like, what's in the golden egg? What's in the egg, dude? There was so many rumors of what it could have been. It was literally a fucking chicken.
Just a Caucasian guy.
It was just a chicken who ended up eventually becoming
Brian.
Pete Rose at like WrestleManias. Remember when Pete Rose came out as a chicken?
Right.
Got tombstoned by Kane. Like that was the chicken that fucking comes out of this goddamn egg, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on? Why is
Wow.
this
What
chicken
about
in
what's
there?"
that weight about? The fuck?
Bad. It was bad, and it was like, and everyone was so excited about it, and it was like in the '80s.
No shit.
Bad gimmick.
Terrible
I'm
gimmick.
sure there's plenty of them.
I'm a
out
chicken.
God.
I'd say like JBL.
Hated him. I'm with him.
Fuck JBL.
That sucked.
JBL overseas is. Fuck you, JBL.
Dude, he's the type of guy who like JBL was the type of dude like at one point like during his gimmick that like it got so bad to where they definitely couldn't play the shit.
You're
that
talking
he
about
did.
Bradshaw.
I'm talking about Bradshaw, dude.
I quit.
He went over to the border of Mexico. Mexico. It was really just probably outside the state, outside whatever stadium they were at, and he's at this gate screaming, looking for Eddie Guerrero, saying, "Get back here, you little Mexican." That was his gimmick the whole day. Was looking for a Mexican.
Eddie Guerrero is also.
It was. It definitely would never get played now.
Oh yeah. No
You can
shit.
never do that now.
Right.
But that was the shit that they used to have him do.
Damn.
Speaking of Eddie Guerrero, that dude was shot. He'd pull up in his fucking Cadillac.
Well,
was
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's crazy because him, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, those guys
You're not allowed
came.
to say his name.
I know. I'm not gonna say. So they came over. The reason why apparently they came over from WCW was because they were too small. They wouldn't give them a shot at the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't even like think about it because they were too small. For whatever reason, bigger was better. You know what I mean? And I honestly feel like and UFC played a big part in this because obviously, before that came along, you kind of seen that, if you were bigger than somebody, you were gonna fuck them up, 100%. It was make believe.
Right.
But then you have on the other side of that, you got in Pride, you got BJ Penn who weighs 150 pounds, beating Tim Silva in like 20 seconds, who's like 6'7", and literally beating him within 2 minutes. And I feel like obviously you have MMA, you have wrestling. They're not necessarily related, but they can correlate that with each other, right? You know what I mean? It's just like it's a combative sport. So I feel like they came over at the right time. Obviously, Eddie Guerrero was a champion.
Yeah.
Before he tragically passed away, he was the fucking man. They were I forget what they were
The
like,
Radicals.
yeah,
With a Z.
They were overseas though. I think when he died, wasn't they were overseas or some shit?
Yes, they were doing some type of show, and I remember Chavo Guerrero, who was
Walked
his
in on
cousin, and he found him.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fucked up.
Wait, it wasn't drug related?
it was drug related.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was it was bad.
Imagine
was
being
sad.
like I was like, I don't know, I was like 10 maybe.
I
Finding out one
still
of my
remember when
heroes.
fucking Owen Hart died.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Owen Hart?
I'll never forget when he died.
Yeah, dude. The blue
He was-
blazer.
He was the blue blazer.
Fucking cord snapped halfway down, dude. Fell all the way, what was it, 40 feet or 50 feet.
Enough, and he hit the turnbuckle.
Hit the fucking turnbuckle, dude. Broke his shit right there. I remember taking a shower right before fucking school at MDJ. My mom came in. Oh, you know, wrestler Owen Hart, he died. I was like, what? What are you talking about, man?
What's even worse is that the show went on.
Oh, yeah, show went on.
They cleaned him off the mat like he was fucking roadkill, and then continued the pay-per-view.
Yep. That was also in overseas. That was Tokyo or Japan.
Oh,
or
where
something.
he died? No, that was in...
Was it in the States?
That was in like Kentucky or something like that.
No shit. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was overseas.
Or maybe in Anaheim, something like that. It was in it was somewhere.
No
it wasn't
shit.
the city. It was in the States though.
I'm going to give an honor mention here before we wrap this up. Honorable mention. He is a WWE Hall of Famer. Okay. The only president of the United States to take a Stone Cold Stunner, and that's Donald J. Trump.
That's correct.
Dude, Trump's a legend.
He
bro.
is. He's
Politics
definitely.
aside, the
He's
man has
definitely
lived a
my.
life.
He's my honorable mention for my top 5 honorable mention, because literally the man was like 65 years old, probably 62, but took a stunner like a champ. And then he clotheslined Vince McMahon.
Anybody who takes a stunner is okay in my book.
There's wrestlers now that say, I wish he would come out and stunner me. Like, I want to take a stunner.
You want that because you get that reaction.
It's like an honor, dude. Like, you talk about rite of passage. Getting a stunner is a fucking rite of passage.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I want to get a stunner. My make-a-wish would be to take a stunner. That's it.
Stone
I
Cold's
want him to give me a finger, then stunner me, and then pick me up, drink a beer, and then stunner me again. That's my.
And just leave. Just split.
We'll try to get that figured out.
And that's it. Let's do it.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I mean, I send emails.
I know. Let's do it.
I got this sickly kid here.
But yeah,
All he wants to do is get stunnered.
he's obese as fuck. he's not gonna make.
He's not your normal sick kid.
But yeah, so Donald Trump is definitely my honorable mention.
I'm with it.
Does anybody have one honorable mention before we wrap this up?
For what?
I think
Best or
the
worst?
show came together great, though.
Oh, 100%.
This is art. As far as every kind of entertainment is art. Sometimes it comes together great. Sometimes it comes together not.
I don't even know
as
if I can
planned.
take you serious. Do you broke character?
I was hot. I'm gonna put it back on so we can all get a picture before we head out. But I'm really happy with how this came together because Connor
so last minute too.
Yeah, he seems to have passion. I knew Johnny would have passion to bring to the show.
He's fucking schooled me a little bit.
I had a lot of fun.
I'm getting your number. We're talking wrestling.
WrestleMania
Absolutely.
encyclopedia.
Networking at its finest.
Talking fucking
This
wrestling,
is
baby.
my forte.
Oh yeah,
Dude, you do look like him. It's weird, but I'm seeing it there. It kind of.
If my face was a little bit more chiseled instead of plump, I think it would look. I think it would look.
Yeah,
good.
you really fit the mold here.
Hell yes, for sure. I want to thank you guys for coming on the Sarcasm Podcast, episode 11, wrestling special. I feel like we got to have more specials. I feel like
themes, dude.
different thing, 100% different
Themes
themes.
rock.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm going to be as fast as Floyd Mayweather after I take these gloves off because they are weighted for some reason.
You know why they weight it.
Huh?
You know why they weight it.
Well, yeah, they don't bruise. We got them. We were on South Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You know
And
exactly why
the
they
only place we found gloves were this sex. What was it called?
Dominatrix?
No, but it was called a sextorium. That's what it was. It was called a
Sextorium?
sextorium on South Street.
Wow.
I
We
think I know
go
what you're
there,
talking about.
and I'm like, "Yo, do you have gloves?" And he says, "Yes, we have gloves." And he showed me all these, and I picked these out. And I don't know if you can see them, but they're like kind of like MMA gloves almost. And he's like, "Yeah, they're padded because they don't leave bruising."
Dude, how about the Korean lady?
So
that
you
was
guys
yelling
went in-
at
you
me? We
guys
met
went
a
in-
couple
you guys went in
characters
together.
today.
Oh, we went together.
Yeah, we went
We-
together.
Oh,
went-
that was it.
That's probably why he mentioned the bruising.
well, we
He thought I was in for a
Maddie
beating
starts
tonight.
naming.
But
Maddie starts naming all these different sex toys. He's playing with the vibrator. He's testing.
I
the
was
fucking,
shopping,
He's
dude.
holding the top and he's like pressing the button. He's like,
Did you ever see the episode of The Office when Michael and Ryan go into the sex shop and he's just laughing and Michael's just laughing the entire time he's in?
Yes. Yes.
A bunch of things vibrating.
Classic character.
He's like, yeah, this is the straddle.
Dude, and then we're like, all right, let's grab food. We're like, we're going to go to Gino's So Sludge swings by Sugar House because it has a Geno's inside. We go inside. I'm like, you know what? I never go to the casino. I'm going to play $100 worth of blackjack. I sit down at the table, and I had a 12 to the dealer's 15, and a Korean lady, I'm like, all right, hit me. I get a 10.
Yeah, naturally.
I bust, and the dealer doesn't bust, and the Korean lady starts fucking yelling at me. I'm like, this is why I don't come to the casino. This is a $15 minimum table, lady. Take it the fuck easy.
She was
like literally like
Dude.
slamming the table like, you don't do that. I'm like,
Dude,
worst
every-
Korean accent ever, but
every time the dealer would throw a card out,
yeah,
she would start just hitting the table. Like she was like over the top, like super in.
So you bust and he doesn't.
Like, yeah,
What did he get?
I mean, whatever he got, but it was like, dude,
So
you
here's
lost
what happens.
$15, lady.
Like,
You don't
yeah.
gotta fucking yell at me.
Here's what happens with blackjack. You bet $15 minimum. You can bet it's a $15 to $1,000. That's the minimum
Yeah.
and maximum bet. You put $15 up. Okay. Say you get an 18.
You stay.
But the dealer has to stop at 17.
Yes.
So like the dealer stops 17, you win. But if you have like a 16 and he has a 19, his goal is to get 21, so he has to flip.
He'll have to flip.
So if he gets an 18, you want to stay because he, you know what I mean? Like
He's gonna bust.
Right, he's gonna bust. But then if he has an 8-card showing and he has a deuce under there, you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? So it's a mind game. You know what I mean? But yeah, so
I got yelled at.
Asian
Long
lady
story
was
short,
she
I
was
got
going
yelled
she
at.
was yelling at everybody at the table. It was kind of annoying
If
for
the
sure.
dealer has 18, he's definitely not going to take any more cards, though.
But that's not how it works.
Because he doesn't show both cards.
Yeah,
You
he
have to
doesn't show
assume
them.
But he
has a-
sees, or he or she sees the.
Yeah, but he
card.
does. Then he would know that he's going to beat everybody because everybody's cards are flipped up.
Well,
he has
like
to
if
get
the
to
dealer-
21.
If the dealer gets 21 off the rip, he'll show the other card.
Right? They offer insurance for
Yes.
double your bet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That would be a theme, dude. Gambling theme. Maybe bringing some city bookies. I know some city bookies.
I used to work at a casino.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll be chomping at the bit to get here. I'm a bookie. Yeah, one more thing
With the
before
blurred face out.
we wrap up the thing because I told you I had a story about Test. It's real fast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Test, the wrestler,
He's dead.
he's dead. Did you ever hear how he died?
No, I did not.
So Test, after he retired from wrestling, he's sitting on his chair. He's sitting on this chair on a porch. At that time, he had died. His neighbor waves to him, and he doesn't wave back, but his neighbor goes away for a vacation. His neighbor comes back 3 days later, and Test is still sitting in the same spot that he was. And he waves again. Nothing. Once again, nothing. He's like, there's something wrong over there. He goes over. Test has been dead for like 3 or 4 days.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that?
That is
Imagine just sitting on your porch dead for 3 days and someone waved at you as if you were normal. And like,
Imagine being a neighbor though, going on vacation, and be like, "Fuck that
He's
guy,"
in the
and
same-
wave back, and then coming back and be like,
talking
"Oh,
shit on him all
yeah."
weekend. Like, dude, my fucking neighbor? Yeah, he's too big for me now.
I know,
Like,
right?
He's big time in me. Like, nah, dude, he's dead.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh shit! I did not know
Yeah.
that. Oh shit!
Yeah. Weird.
Damn.
But yeah, that's it.
We'll leave you on a fun fact. So here's what we're gonna do. This episode is brought to you by Laura McKearns. Summer camp is almost wrapped up at this point. Chris Kearns doing great things for the children. Getting your children a step ahead this summer so they don't fall behind with this upcoming school year. Different themes. I think at this point he's doing daily. Reach out. Learn McKearns on Instagram and Facebook. Get your kids signed up. Air by Design Heating and Cooling. Literally the best HVAC company, price-wise and work-wise, that I know of. Hit them up, Andrew Gibbon, or Air by Design Heating and Cooling. Marinucci's Deli. Literally the best deli in Philadelphia by far. I mean, look, I can't even say it enough, dude. Marinucci's Deli, dude, come on. I have a hoagie upstairs waiting for me. Like, I pre-order that shit. It's good to go. Are you hooking up right now? Are you getting ready to go?
Right from our picture.
Yeah.
You need to run home.
You look like a Kiss groupie. But yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for having us. Episode number 11, but this is our 3rd episode on YouTube. I'd love to get back to Facebook, but you got to get back on. You got to get on YouTube. John, thank you for coming over, brother.
Absolutely.
You are the fucking man.
Absolutely.
Connor.
Ooh, it's the Hogan Show, brother.
Matty, our daddy. Always Matty, our daddy, my guy for sure. At the count of 3, we're going to end with a yeet yeet. You cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
Always, brother.
3, 2, 1. Yeet!